But I have this seems like if nothing else, it's a very well organized slideshow. This is this or that for celebrity guest stars, Sesame Street or Star Trek.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So it's hello. There we go.
Tell me more.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Oh my god.
So did this celebrity guest star on an episode of Star Trek or on an episode of Sesame Street? So, Frank Gorshin. I should crop this better.
Oh, and this is going to include the old series in addition to Next Gen and
Sure
the rest.
will.
Yep. Star Trek?
Sesame Street.
This seems like a Star Trek.
Matt?
I'm going to go with Star Trek. Sure.
This is
Star Trek.
Graham,
Yes.
do you want to read out the text that's on the screen there?
Oh, sure, yeah. American character, actor,
'cause it's a
impressionist,
bit
and comedian. His most famous acting role was the Riddler on the live-action Batman, which also, by the way, he was one of three actors? He was the most famous Riddler on the 1960s Batman, but also, John Allen? Was that his name? The guy who played Gomez on the original Addams Family also played the Riddler on the 1960s
I
Batman.
must have missed those
wow.
episodes because that would be wild.
You can tell because he has the John Aston. Thank you. You can tell he has the mustache. He was nominated for an Emmy Award for playing the Riddler, and he was on Star Trek.
Hooray!
In the episode
Hey!
"Let That Be Your Last Battlefield," he portrayed Commissioner Bele from the planet Charon. This was the race episode.
The race episode.
Well, yeah, but this was
Is this-
one race of people was black on
Black
one
and
half
left.
and white on the other half, and then the different race of people was the opposite, and they hated each other for it. Do you get it?
Subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle.
So, sorry, Jason. It means stuff. All right, next. Whoop. Ben Stiller, American actor, comedian, film producer, director, and writer. Son of comedian actors
Sesame Street.
Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira. First,
Sesame Street.
I'm
yeah.
certain I've seen this
I'm
guy.
not gonna read the his synopsis, but yes.
I've seen this guy busting around with Elmo.
Oh, I skipped ahead. Sorry, but yes, you're correct. It's Sesame Street.
Yeah.
He appeared
Figured.
in 1998, singing
Wow.
"The People in Your Neighborhood" with Telly, and also the voice of the Muppet character Stiller in Stiller the Elf in Elmo's Christmas Countdown. So there you go.
Huh.
That makes sense.
Jeremy Irons, English actor and activist. Irons began his acting career in Sage 1969 on the West End in Richard II, Macbeth. 1984, he made his Broadway debut in Tom Stoppard's The Real Thing and received a Tony for Best Actor.
Star Trek.
So you said both isn't an option, right?
I didn't check, actually.
This could so easily go either way. Jeremy
I think
Irons.
it's-
I
I actually think
completely
this
would
is,
believe
Sesame
Jeremy Irons
Street.
in both.
I feel both as
I
an
do
option.
not. I've skipped ahead. I do not see any boths, and I mean
Okay,
the fact
okay.
that it could go either way is like the point of the whole.
I know, but this one is the most either way of the ones we've gone so far.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
I have to go
Street for
Sesame Street.
Star Trek.
I'm going to go early Trek.
It is Sesame Street
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
with an animated GIF, no less. 1988's Sesame Street special as one of the celebrities in the "Put Down the Ducky" segment.
Come on. There were dozens of celebrities in Put Down the Ducky. I got excited because Candace Bergen showed up and she was there for 3 seconds. That doesn't count. Unless it's a speaking role, it's not a count.
Wow.
I'm actually surprised. I would have expected Jeremy Irons to, like, as Ian says, like, do a skit,
Yeah.
like, as Jeremy Irons, and in, like, more recent years, like in the 2010s.
Brad Dourif, American character actor, best known for his roles as the voice of Chucky in the Child's Play franchise and Grima Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
For sure, Star Trek. Yeah.
I think I even recognized his face. This is,
I didn't hear from Ian.
Oh, I said Trek. Sorry.
Okay.
But
Matt,
he
do
was
you think?
also the Dune dude, right? Yeah. He was in Dune.
Yeah, he was in Dune and The Exorcist.
He was a
3.
Mentat or whatever.
Yeah. So
Star Trek all the way.
it is indeed Star Trek. Matt, do you know who he was in Star Trek?
I'm trying to remember. Was he the doctor? What are the phage doctors in Voyager? No.
He
Okay.
portrayed Lon Suder, the sociopathic betazoid who killed a fellow crew member.
Oh right, of course.
Yes. As opposed to the other sociopathic betazoid who was the mother of Deanna Troy.
Yeah.
Barbara Eden began her television career on the Johnny Carson Show, best known as Jeannie in I Dream of Jeannie.
I wonder if she also didn't show her navel on Star Trek. I'm going to say that.
Sesame Street.
I'm going to say Sesame Street. I imagine she did a bit with Elmo.
I think if Barbara Eden was on Sesame Street, it would probably have been well before the time of Elmo, the rise of Elmo. It was
Sure.
Sesame Street, by the way, but it was in 1974 on a primetime special, Out to Lunch. Ernie introduced her song, and Bert seemed especially interested in seeing her perform. This was the Sesame Street Muppets and the cast of the Electric Company.
Huh.
Oh!
Kids show mashups.
But that photo, you don't see hairy monster out there these days much.
The premise,
Oh,
the premise of the show was that the
that's cool.
ABC newscasters had all gone out to lunch, and it was up to the Electric Company cast and the Muppets to make up an hour of programming.
That's
rad.
so good.
I love it. David
need to
Cronenberg, Canadian film director and screenwriter, has directed many films in the horror and sci-fi genre, such as Scanners, The Fly, Crash, and Videodrome.
This is
Star
100
Trek.
100% Sesame Street.
Yep. Sesame Street loves putting the weird stuff on.
Absolutely. Sesame Street does the bits for the parents.
Sesame Street does love doing that. In this case, he's in Discovery.
Oh, of course. I literally watched that episode earlier this week. I straight up just didn't recognize him.
Well,
As this
spoilers, I
episode,
guess.
premiered on November 12th, the day before Desert Bus 2020 started his run, his relevance to the plot, though not explicitly a spoiler, will not be discussed at this time.
Yeah.
What a great caption.
Wow.
Ron Howard, director,
Definitely
producer,
Sesame Street.
actor, narrator of Arrested Development. Howard first came to prominence as a child actor, guest starring in several television series, including in an episode of The Twilight Zone.
I'm just so used
And he
to
went solo at one point.
I'm just so used to seeing Ron Howard being used as a punchline for a joke in The Simpsons that I couldn't help but laugh when
Yeah.
his name came up.
Yeah.
I'm
Speaking
gonna
of
say
The Street.
Yeah, I think it's Sesame Street. Speaking of Howards, Bryce Dallas Howard directed this week's episode of The Mandalorian.
Yes, with an extended reference to her father's work.
Now, none of you got caught
I haven't
out.
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Not saying
We're not
anything
talking
more than
about it.
Yeah.
The Bryce Dallas
for
Howard
YouTube
directed
chat.
it.
Yes.
Lee Dopo says, "Wait, we aren't talking about Opie?" Yes, this is Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. That is correct. But none of you got caught out that Ron Howard's brother, Clint, was indeed in the original Star Trek, but Ron Howard was on Sesame Street in 1978. Along with his Happy Days co-star Henry Winkler, appeared in several sketches featuring the sets and characters from Happy Days. No Muppets appeared in these sketches.
Ah.
Oh, that's weird.
Again, I have like a clear memory of a much older Ron Howard acting against a Muppet, but
Yeah.
no idea where that came from.
Maybe on the Muppet Show or Muppets Tonight.
Maybe? I don't know. False memories.
Hey. Exactly $387,000 we just hit.
Nice.
Let's go.
Paul White, a.k.a. Well, it's the big show.
Sesame Street.
American
slams.
pro wrestler.
Windmill slamming, Star Trek, Voyager.
Yeah,
gonna say
I'm calling
Trek.
Star
Yeah.
Trek on this one. And Voyager's the safe
Because
call.
Ian said Voyager, I'm confident that he just knows it.
But I think no, I haven't watched Voyager, but I think I saw the chat say something.
Now, well, you should be hiding your chat during this or that.
Oh, that's
now,
right, I guess.
Ian.
I think Sesame Street, though.
Now, Voyager was on UPN, which at the time was also the network for Friday Night SmackDown. And there was famously the episode featuring the blood sport of Tsunkatse, where 7 of 9 has a battle against a Tsunkatse champion played by Rock the Dwayne Johnson. The Big Show, however, was on Star Trek Enterprise as Orion Slaver #1 in the season 4 episode Borderland.
Well, I'll still take the W for being a Trek.
Exactly. Good job.
Yep.
You were still correct.
The least of all Trek, but the Trek.
Yeah.
And he got kicked in the crotch, apparently.
Yeah,
according
T'Pol
to the
kicked him in the
last
crotch
one.
before being beamed back aboard the Enterprise.
Look at how enthused DePaul is in that photo.
Big Show is also a massive nerd. And
He's been on a couple of D&D shows, I believe.
yeah, he's a big fan of Destiny as well. Like, he plays a lot of
Role, I think,
Destiny.
was the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you for those of you in the chat who are big into Enterprise, I truly believe that Enterprise was just an episode of Quantum Leap that went on for 5 seasons.
All right, I'm
All right,
sure I've seen
Iggy Pop.
the episode of Iggy Pop in Star Trek. And
See, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I've seen the episode of Iggy Pop in Sesame Street.
That was my feeling.
It's going to happen frequently. I'll say Star Trek.
Sorry, Ian, which one did you say?
I am also going with Sesame Street.
How long ago
Hard
did you
on
rewatch? What's that? Ben's going Star Trek? How long ago did you rewatch DS9?
I haven't done a rewatch of DS9.
He played a Vorta in season 6, The Magnificent Ferengi.
I remember that
Of course
now.
he would.
Meg and I
Yeah.
haven't gotten that far in our DS9 rewatch.
It's good. This is one of the Grand Nagus episodes. He played the Vorta really well.
Yeah.
And lastly, Richard Pryor, American comedian and actor. Pryor's body work includes the concert movies and recordings of Richard Pryor Live and Smokin', Is It Something I Said, and Richard Pryor Here and Now.
I'm holding the line on
Sesame
Sesame Street.
Yep.
Slam dunk.
Everyone's slam dunking to Sesame Street, and you would be correct. In several segments from 1975 to 1979. In these segments, he performed various tasks such as reciting the alphabet, demonstrating emotions, sharing a basket of strawberries, and playing all the parts in a scenario of two kids meeting a new kid who wants to play. And he had a cameo in the Muppet movie.
Hey,
Well,
that
thank
was
you.
a good quiz.
Yeah.
That was a
Well
quiz.
done.
It is not required that the quizzes have a full slideshow, but that was great. I appreciate it.
Makes it easy for us.
Yeah, I have another great one for later that I will
All right.
I will sit upon for now.
Excellent.
I like it.